right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Channel 6 TV. We're talking about community focus here tonight, and when we're talking about community focus, one of the things we're talking about is our countdown to November 6th. That's Tuesday, November 6th, the day that you get to go behind that curtain and make your choice about who's going to lead this county for the next several years. And one of the county offices that'll be on the ballot is Nelson County Jailer, and we got the candidate here for Nelson County Jailer, Mr. Buck Snellen. Buck, thank you for taking the time out of your day showing up to come talk to us.
Well, thank you for inviting me and taking your time out to talk to me.
Well, I appreciate that, because like I said, you know, there's a real good chance that you're going to be in office here in a few months, so I guess we need to find out who you are a little bit.
Well, we know everybody around town and through the county knows me as Buck Snell. My real name is John.
Yeah.
I was born in Samuels. I've been a Nelson County resident my whole life. My parents were Emmanuel and Lily Snellen. My mother worked at Jim Beam's and my dad worked for Mago's, and I'm the 10th child of 12 kids, Catholic.
I think so.
And I went to school at St. Gregory's for 6 years, then I left and went to Oklahoma Middle School, and then went to Nelson County, graduated from Nelson County. And I worked, over the years, I've worked odd and end jobs throughout the county in Louisville. First got out of high school, I drove for a guy named Quincy Ashball.
I remember Quincy.
Drove a dump truck.
I remember Quincy well.
I hauled blacktop and rock out of this quarry, plus all over the state of Kentucky. Where Mago's had a plant, I hauled blacktop and stuff like that. And I got tired of truck driving, so I went to work for my brother-in-law. He worked for an outfit that built coal mine equipment. And we built all the conveyors, stuff like that, and then we'd go into coal mines and set them up.
Yeah.
Then I went to work in a factory in Louisville, Bunton Lawnmower Company. Bunton builds them better. A lot of people said Bunton Seed. I said, no, there's two brothers.
Yeah.
One on Bunton Seed, one on Bunton Lawnmower.
Really?
I'm much a factory man. I'm not a factory. I'm more of an outside person. So in 1988, I got on at the county jail for Austin Weller. Worked under Austin and Dorcas, which both two great people, and worked there till 91, and I got, matter of fact, working at jail, I got interested in law enforcement, started to talk to the county police, sheriff department, state troopers, and different organizations come in there, and got interested and started riding with some of them. And Joe Cameron come to jail, and I put an application in. He come to jail, and he said, are you interested in being a police officer? I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, you got to interview Monday. So I've interviewed under former Mayor Chuck Brock, and he was a man of not many words, but he would tell you this is how it's going to be, and I don't want to hear it no more. And he hired me, and I went to police academy. I was a bartender officer from 90. I got out of academy February of 1992, and I retired October the 1st, 2014. And I stayed out 90 days, and Ed Manley, which is, I've known him since he was a kid. He run around with my two nephews. I said, if you win sheriff, I said, I wouldn't mind having a job.
Yeah.
And so 90 days later, he come to me and said, you want a job? I said, no one. He said, work the courthouse and transporting prisoners. So that's where I'm at today until I filed to run for jailer.
Well, we'll talk about that law enforcement here in just a minute, but like I said, you several years to the jail, so you know what you're getting into.
Yes.
I mean, you've been to jail. It's not going to be a shock to you, and you walk in and see what's down there.
That's right. That's right. It's not, I see a shock every day, more or less.
Well, and I guess that's the second part of it. As a law enforcement officer, you see people in various situations. I mean, it's not just all criminals,
right?
But it's a lot of things, and so I guess every day when you look forward to going to work today, do you have any idea what the day is going to be like?
Some days I do, and some days it's most likely most of the time I'm not at the courthouse. Most of the time I'm transporting. It's either I'm out in a van, just like today. Myself and Dave Kohler, we left here, took some back to Shelby County, left Shelby County, went to Oldham, picked up some, went to Louisville, picked up some. And that's basically what we do all the time. This week we pick them up for Rural Day, next week we take them back. It's just a revolving door. It's like you said, criminals. Some of them are a criminal, and some people just mess up and go to jail. I mean, there's a lot of people that just down on luck and they get caught up in the situation and they go to jail, but they turn out to be good people. But you got people that just a revolving door for that not a productive citizen. They
Yeah.
just rather,
Well, law enforcement is different than being a jailer. Obviously, it's a different type of law enforcement. And you're out seeing people. You really don't. It's not really your call, I guess, when you're arresting somebody. If they're breaking the law, you arrest them. Now, when they're in jail, you've got a different responsibility.
you got a different responsibility, but still, the jailer is a sworn peace officer in Kentucky. Just like you see warrants that come out, and it says to all county, city, state, and jailers,
Yeah.
sworn peace officer in Kentucky. They can say warrants at the jail. They just got to be showed how to do it. But and like I say, they're a sworn peace officer. They can work off-duty security if the jailer lets them, which Dorcas does let them. They've worked off-duty security like the craft fair and different things like that.
So basically, when you walk in as a jailer, I mean, what's the prisoner think when they walk in, when they see you come in? I guess to go from the prisoner standpoint, are they in fear? Are you somebody that they're going to? How are they going to respect you? What does it take to get the respect?
Well, I had some inmates ask me if I were jailer, what would I change? I said, what would I change to make things better? I said, well, what will you do to make things better? You have to work with me.
Right.
You're here. I didn't put you here, but you need to grow up and act like adult, and you act like adult, it will benefit you.
Yeah.
Quit tearing up things in the jail. Quit trying to sneak stuff into the jail,
Speaking of the jail, let's just go straight to the big issue. We've been hearing this for the last several years, whether it's fiscal court and I don't know, is this something do we need a new jail? And if we do, what role will you have in promoting what do you feel about that?
Most definitely, we need one because it's the overcrowding, and it's not just here. I mean, it's everywhere in the state. Like I say, I transport all over the state, and it's everywhere, the overcrowding. Yesterday, I was in Bullitt County. Can you take a few more with you? I said, no, I'm just here to get the two that are for court, but they're coming back to you. But it's and it's all because of the heroin, the meth, and they're breaking into places and stealing to get money to buy the heroin and meth. That's the biggest three main problems that are in the jail today.
So when they get in jail, what they do? I mean, obviously, they're still hooked on heroin and meth. I mean, so you've got an issue probably there you got to deal with as well.
And and some of them will get I think some of them will get like a drug court, and some of them do good, and some of them don't. It's all what you want to make of yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Well, last year, obviously, the jail got a little bad press because people sneaking things in. I mean, there was an actual hole in the wall at one point. I mean, so who does that fall upon? Does that fall upon the jailer? Does that fall upon fiscal court to make sure you got the funds to? There's more than just the jailer involved here because you don't generate your own money.
It's a county-owned building. The jailer is just a proprietor of it.
Right.
But that's where that fence should have been put up a long time ago. It shouldn't be no windows or walls that house inmate without a barrier beside it, to where nobody can get to it.
So you've been there, you've seen what goes on, and again, the question the prisoner asks you is a valid question. Do you see changes you need to make there, or is that something you just need to?
I think there's a lot of changes. They have drunk tanks. They're not used as drunk tanks no more. When you bring in the weekend DUI or weekend intoxicated guy, they're cells. So they're laying on the floor. Why not go ahead and build bunks and turn them into a cell?
So I guess not knowing the layout of the jail, I've been in very limited time. It's kind of hard.
And a jail needs to be, but it's not going to be overnight. A jail's not going to be built overnight. Like I say, it's got to go through physical court and everything. And they know it needs to be done, but you're going to have to, I guess, patch this one until that time gets there before you can get the funds to build it.
Yeah.
But it can be built in a way that will take some of the burden off the county. State prisoners, stuff like that.
You got adequate staff down there now?
Yeah, they have a good staff down there.
Yeah.
Good staff.
Yeah.
Mr. Barry, my opponent's a good staff. He works very hard.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot goes on in the jail that we don't see. I mean, I don't. You see it more so, but there's a lot of things go down there, and it's not some place that the average person's probably going to want to Probably don't want to know what goes on down there to
Well,
some
they
degree.
do have, they do have a lot of part-timers that are turnover that, I'm not cut out for it. And everybody's not cut out to do it.
Yeah.
It takes a special person, just like military.
Yeah.
You got to want to stay in the military, or, you got to want to stay there to jail.
Now, what kind of training does a deputy jailer need? I mean, do they need anything special, or do you?
Back when I was there, I used to have to go to Shelby campus, and they do all-day first aid CPR. Then they had some other classes. I think I took a couple classes in Lexington, stuff like a 2-day class. I think they have to do like a 40-hour year, maybe not that. I know after we get out of the academy, we have to do a 40-hour in-service to keep our certification.
Was there any particular reason that you want to be jailer? I mean, is it something? I know it's been a lifelong goal, or is it just something here in the last couple of years?
Some guys in the police department, years ago when I was city officer, they said, I said, I'm thinking about running. Why don't you, man? Why don't you? And I said, well, I think doing. So plus, I still have a daughter still in college. I got an 8-year-old son, and I got a granddaughter, and still, it's just, I'm not ready to go.
Yeah.
Too young to retire.
Well, I understand that. I mean, but again, it's something you want to do for a few years.
Yes. I'll do, if I win, I'll do this term, and I feel my health feels good and everything. I do it again.
Well, it's like I said, we say this over and over. It's an awesome responsibility because criminals are not necessarily, as you said, criminals. It might be somebody related to me, a good friend of mine, and I'm putting them in your care.
Right.
And I guess I'm putting them in your care. Hopefully they're going to come back out in the same shape they went in, or maybe, I don't want to use the word rehabilitating because that's such a hard word to deal with.
Yeah, that's did the Morgan Freeman say on Shemshaw? What is the word?
Yeah.
Rehabilitated.
Yeah. But when they come back out, like I said, I know a lot of people are returning visitors. But how do you break that cycle? I mean, I don't. Of course, I know that's not the jailer's job.
But a whole lot of them, you look back and it runs in their family. It could be because they're alcoholic or the way you was raised or something like that. But most time people try to take a step forward to break that cycle.
Yeah. So as a jailer, I know working down there, working police department. You got to be in fear every now and then for yourself, but obviously at some point you've got to overcome that.
If a person out here working the street or working in jail has never been scared in some type of law enforcement, they're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because I'm tell you what, I've been in places that, your hair stands up on the back of your neck.
Yeah. Well, you've been out knocking on doors and talking to people, and again, a lot of people don't understand the jail situation. They know the basics of what jail is, but they don't know the inside, all the duties a jailer has. Is there any special concerns people are talking to you about, or what is it people are saying? When you go say, "Hey, I'm Buck Snellen, I'd like your vote." Either they like you or they don't.
Time for a change.
Yeah.
Time for a change. They said, I think Dorcas has been around there since 48 years.
Yeah. So
she's done a great job,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're still friends. I told her when I started we're friends now, we'll always be friends, and we'll stay friends.
Yeah. Well, like I said, is there anything you'd like to add that I haven't touched upon that you think the voters of Nelson County need to know about before November 6th?
Well, appreciate you watching the show, and remember me November 6th, and I'll do the job that I can do if you vote me in as Nelson County Jailer. And I want to thank you, Kenny, for having me.
Well, I appreciate you being here, Buck. Right. And Buck Snellen, he's running for Nelson County Jailer. November 6th, as he mentioned, that's the day. That's the day you get a chance to go in and have your say. And Buck will be on the ballot, so he's doing his part. He put himself out there as a candidate. We're doing our part by putting the candidates on, letting you know what's going on as far as information and education. November 6th day, you do your part. And that's the day you need to show up. You need to let people know who you think needs to be in office. And you got Buck, he's wanting to run for jailer. And again, it's an awesome responsibility because when you take people, prisoners, and put them in somewhere, first of all, you want them safe and sound, but you want me and you safe and sound too. You don't want people coming out of there or there's a variety of things that can go wrong. So we want to make sure we got somebody there that is protecting not only them, but protecting me and you too. So grow up, Buck. Thank you for being here today. I know you've been busy, so So keep up what you're doing, and I
right.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you again for having me.
All right, stick around. A lot more to come here on Channel 6 TV. We'll be right back.